computer. All right, here we are with another beautiful light worker from Becoming Light, and I'm getting all teared up already.
Or like have my tissue with me.
I know. But I would love for you to introduce yourself, Lindsey. It's been such an honor and a privilege to know you, and you're another Maryland girl. So
Yes.
please tell us about yourself. Like, who are you? How long have you been doing hair and all that stuff?
My name is Lindsey Cabrera, and I'm from Maryland, and I've been doing hair for probably about 25 years. I started, I worked in a salon when I was about 15, and then I went to beauty school in high school. So I really had the honor to like be able to start my career really early. And then I started cutting hair and had clients at 18, and ever since then I've been doing hair. And I've worked in a couple salons, and then my sister and I owned a salon in Bethesda for 13 years. And then I got out in about, I think it was 2019, and right before the pandemic. And I really had no idea what I was going to do with my life. I went into this journey of like soul searching and going deep inside my wounds and like healing and meditation, and just I've done so many different modalities, and I came back to like, what do I want? And I just think I wanted quietness, and I wanted like one-on-one with my clients. And so with the pandemic, it just led me to doing hair in my house, and then slowly it brought me to you, into this program where I'm like forever ever grateful. And now I'm able to share that energy work with my clients, and it's in my private little studio, and it's perfect, and I love it. I never thought that I would do that being from a big salon, but yeah.
Yeah, I love your story because I talk to so many hairdressers from all around the country, and a lot of them have a story or a dream similar to what you're doing right now. So I really love it, and it's really special, which is just so interesting. After all these years, you're like, I didn't realize this was ever going to happen, but here we are, and you're doing it.
Yeah.
And I would love to know how we connected, because I think we knew people in common when I was in the DC, Maryland area, but we never really formally connected. But how did we get connected?
Yes. So my rep from Redken, or L'Oreal, I should say, she would always tell me about the salon you worked at, and that there were like really cool girls that were like just really connected, kind of like how you are on this spiritual journey. And I just kind of like didn't think anything of it. And then I partnered with a woman for a wellness center down in Tenleytown, and I ran into another girl that she was asking me, what is your dream? And I said, I really just want to like do energy work on people, like connect with them and just make them feel. And then she's like, well, so have you ever heard of this woman? And she mentioned your name. And then I reached back out to my rep, and then she gave me your information. I literally looked at your like profile for a second, and then I was just like, click. And I like we connected, and then I was like, okay, sign me up. Like I had no idea. Like I just knew the universe literally brought me to you in that time and space. Like seriously, like I think the more you do work on yourself, like the magic starts to happen, and like, just you're guided into the right direction. And I was brought to you, and I'm forever, like it changed my life for sure. Right now I can say that. Yeah.
That's so cool to watch it happen. I would love to know, it's been really cool to watch you grow in a really small amount of time. And I would love to know, what about the process? Like, what was your process like in this program? Like, what were that's fine.
I'm so sorry. It's the only thing that my husband has is on my ringer. So let's see. I honestly just thought it was going to be like, okay, I'm going to learn a little bit about energy work. Okay. And that was great, because I'm certified in Reiki. And then it kind of just was like, okay, and what else can I learn? But wow, like I had no idea that it was going to strip me open to like childhood stuff that really, I think, held me back. with just feeling confident in myself. I mean, yes, I owned a business, but my sister was the one that was really the one behind like all that stuff. And I was the one really bringing the clients and doing the hair. So
Mhm.
knowing how to run a business on my own was really scary. And I held myself back with, I'm dyslexic. So I always told myself when I was younger that I was stupid. I was never going to be able to do anything. And, I came across a lot of toxic people that kind of use that against me sometimes. And so it just brought out my wounds. And when I started this program, and I think I started with like the beginning of the module, and then I started to get into like the deeper stuff. And I just, it stripped me, like it opened up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I did not know that I had issues with my mom, and I didn't know that I had issues with like, just not feeling worthy. And it just brought me to a whole nother place. And I I got to see myself like outside of myself, and hold myself and love myself and honor myself and know that I'm not alone. Like you never made me feel ever, like you always lifted me up. And I think that was such a beautiful thing, because people would be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry about that." You'd be like, you just gave stories about like other people in the same place that I was in. And that always just made me feel so loving. Like you just had so much love for me and all of the people that you work with. And that you connected people that were like kind of on the same journey. And I love that. Like Nicole, like we connected,
Yes.
and it was just really great. Like we've been able to chat, and she's like, "Oh, I feel like I'm going through the same thing." And it's just nice to have a community where you can like feel open, because we're all struggling with something. It's just sometimes we have shame in it and we don't want to come forward. So that was really eye-opening, just coming deep inside me. And then learning all of the energy work too was such a bonus on top of it all. But like I just didn't know how many upper limit issues that I had and what was holding me back. So that was just amazing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And how was it? How was the energy work like with your clients?
Oh, I mean, it's been absolutely amazing, because even though, the people you always said, it's like the ones that are the most resistant actually are the ones that like, it's been so good. And I think
Yeah.
I send them like little handouts to explain what energy work is, so that they're not like, and especially like the part about Dr. Oz, because everybody can relate to that, or
Yeah.
they can relate to the hospitals, right? They don't want to hear about like Reiki. And I mean, some people do, but those words kind of freak people out. So when you use like more modern version of it, it's great. And people, I mean, I literally do it almost on everybody now. um and now that I just sent out my letter, it's now everybody knows that this is something I'm going to be doing, and they're open. They love it. They love it. They feel, I mean, I think the most out of anybody is just like, I just feel relaxed. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to come back to my body. That's what everybody kept saying. It's really nice to
That's
watch.
beautiful. That's beautiful. And I watched you grow a lot in business, actually. Like, I think usually what happens when anybody goes into a really big change in their life, like we always have an expansion and then we have a contraction. Like in the beginning of the program, we get really excited. We want to learn all the things. And then there's a contraction and there's a,
Yes.
I'm scared. I don't know if I can do this. I'm overwhelmed. I'm distracted.
Yeah.
I'm too busy, all that stuff. And it was cool to watch you scale through that in business. So like, what were the results for you in terms of your business, like practically as well? Like you're going from a what price to a what price?
Well, what I do want to say is, I think one thing I did learn about myself is I I keep myself very busy all the time. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to take on this. I'm going to take on that. And I just like,
Yeah.
I never follow through. I never finish completely, right? And this is like,
Mhm.
I feel like this program, I'm finished, and now I'm gonna like slow down and like just take it easy. Because I would I think I was nervous too, to get on a call, like to be seen, like to be like, oh my God, are those people like gonna like see me and like be like, oh, she's not very smart, or oh, like just all those
Yeah.
things. And it's so anyway, that was a really big thing. And I know that other women coming into that, it is hard to get on these calls and make the time. Like I'm like, okay, I have to move a client to like a Saturday when it's my day off, but that's okay because it's only for 2 months. It's just, what it's going to be, and it's okay. So that I did want to say that, but so what was the question?
Well, ma'am, you are booked up until basically the end of this year. So
Yes.
that definitely meant that you absolutely needed to raise your prices. And
Yes.
you just sent out your price increase email
Yes.
yesterday.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
How did that feel?
I was just like, when I clicked it, I was like, there it goes. I mean, I set it up to go out yesterday morning at 8:30, but I did it on Sunday night. And I just was like, it just felt so liberating, because I wasn't attached to anything. I wasn't attached to the client saying well, why do I have to pay that much more? Or the person. And then I had beautiful clients, right? Like, that was so beautiful. Thank you for explaining all of that in detail. And I'm so excited. And a lot of people love the part about the tipping. Like, they just love it simple. And so that was really like, not being attached to any of it really was part of my healing process. I think I overanalyze, I overthink, oh my gosh, is that person going to be upset? Like, I'm just a people pleaser. And so I was like, no, this is my worth. This is what I give so much of my love to a person in my chair. And I
Yes.
think that's why that's why I have my book that I've had, and it's carried with me from having a salon to being in my home, because people just want to be around me and I want to be around them. And so that was, I'm worth that. So my
Yes.
price probably went up more for my haircuts than anything, because
Sure.
I was a la carte.
Sure. So like average, like how much more
But
per hour?
I think per hour I'm gonna go up about like $55. So I was 111 for a haircut. So now I've gone up even more. And then with the color, if they're there for 2.5 hours, that's $165 an hour. So I mean, yes, definitely. I'll be it looked like I was gonna bring in another like 6,000,
Mhm.
like if I really looked at it like that, which is huge, because that I always go to this number when I left the salon, when I was like working like pretty much like a robot. I had like 10 clients a day. I had an assistant. I was like back and forth and back and forth. And I did work 4 days, which was great, but it was a lot in a 4 day. And so now I work 5 days, but I do 4 clients a day. And it's like, I mean, I feel like so in my body, like I feel exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I get to make the same amount that I was making, plus probably a little bit more.
Actually more.
And that's huge for me. Like,
Yeah, it's
huge.
an additional $72,000 a year.
Right. Yes, I look at it like this, but yes, it's
I'm
huge.
like, I'm like, boom.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean,
That's huge. And then 2 months, a 2-month commitment in this vortex, totally worth it, because that's what it's about. Like, you can absolutely do it. You can have like this kind of very authentic, beautiful client experience that is sustainable, where you just are not burned out, right?
yes.
And it's profitable and it just feels really effing good.
Yeah. And doing the energy work, like, honestly, it's like therapy for me. Like,
Oh, yeah, it's a session for you as well.
right. Like, I mean, yes, I do my morning rituals and I do my evening rituals, which like 100%, like, if people aren't doing it, I would highly recommend, just because it just grounds you. It centers you. It starts your day and it ends your day. And when I'm doing the sessions on my clients like that, yeah, it's totally therapy. It's like, it's just all like a beautiful package together.
That's awesome.
So.
I want to take it to big picture. Like, how has this impacted the rest of life for you? I know you've already touched on it, but I still want to like tie a ribbon around it.
So, I think it's going to give me, it is giving me boundaries, which is number one, really important for me. Boundaries that have always been a difficult thing for me. I would do anything for anybody and sacrifice anything and kind of leave myself in the dust. So that has been amazing. I think that, I did partner with someone with a wellness center down in Tenleytown in DC.
Yes.
And that has really made me step out and be like, I want to like bring people in and like have these wonderful workshops for other humans out there that we just need to like have love and have community. I think that there's just been this lack of community. And so just even being on this program, this community is amazing. And so that has helped me learn how to connect with other people. So like having these events down there and doing breathwork classes and bringing in yoga instructors. And like, I love that. And so that's actually helped me come out of my shell and be able to like talk to people that I probably would have never been. I would have been like just doing my hair behind my chair and like now I'm like being seen and like bringing a community together, and people
Yes.
just love hearing your story, and we all have a story to tell. So that really has helped me, I think, blossom and know my worth in that. And I know that it's going to be an amazing thing. And my I think with my studio here, maybe eventually I'll open up a little studio, very small, so that it's out of my home. So I have boundaries with that. Because my kids sometimes knock on my door in the middle of my energy work, and I'm like, okay. But I know that I just see big things. I know that I have a clear vision, and now that I've raised my prices, I can kind of dial down to who is my key core people. And then it makes a little bit of room to have another extra day to go down to my studio and have that and be a mom and balance all of it and know that I can get it all done without taking on 5,000 other things that aren't very important, and stay focused to what's important and where do I want to go and what do I can have whatever I want.
You can have whatever you want.
Yeah. I always would say that, but now I can say that with like just ease and confidence with that.
Yeah.
Without being like cocky or arrogant. It's just like that this is who I am, and I believe in myself. Yeah. So it's just beautiful.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. It is such an honor and privilege. And I'm really excited to see all the cool things that you're going to do in your area, because that's really been such a moment for me. And one of the reasons why I like launched this program in the first place, to like, you're like, boop, because energy healing is all self-healing, right?
Yeah.
So you're literally just lighting a match to somebody. And so
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to do with other hairdressers, is be like, here you go, take the fire and like do what you want to do with it. And so I'm excited for all the teaching that you're going to do and all the leadership opportunities that you're going to have, because they are going to happen.
Yeah. And just thank you, Ashley. Like I look at this program, I'm like, I just want to share. I want to like tell all my friends. Like I was like, you have to go take this program. Like it will change your life. Like it completely shifted me into like a different dimension of like this, just being a goddess of like, we are goddesses, and we've got lost along the way, with all of our stuff, and that we can come back to like that child where we're just innocent and like pure, and like we have all this confidence, and I think that's what you're an angel, and you are here to like help guide other women, and I love it. I love watching it. It's beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to stop recording so I can stop crying. Thank you so much for sharing your story. You're going to help so many other women with this. So thank you for being so honest.